counselor with over 35 years of experience, and I have helped hundreds of couples overcome this type of intimate difficulty. I remember a patient, a man in his 40s, who came into my office with his head down and his shoulders slumped. He confided in me, almost in a whisper, "Doctor, I can't do it anymore. I feel like my wife is starting to turn away from me, and I feel powerless." We started by talking about his daily stress, his overloaded days, the conflicts he had never shared, and the constant fear of disappointing his partner. Very quickly, we identified that anxiety and the fear of failure were acting as a psychological block, preventing his body from responding naturally. We worked on deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and visualization exercises. Each breath allowed him to reconnect his body to his mind, to regain inner confidence. A few sessions later, he confided in me with a shy smile, "Doctor, I'm rediscovering that feeling, that pleasure. As if my body finally recognizes me." Another experience deeply affected me. A couple came to see me after several months of tension and disappointment in their intimate life. The man believed the solution lay solely in physical performance, but he was unaware that his desire had been stifled by negative thoughts, fatigue, and unexpressed resentments. Together, we explored strategies to restore communication, identify sources of stress, and relearn how to appreciate physical intimacy without pressure. We incorporated moments of sensual connection that were not focused on the sexual act itself, but on touch, eye contact, and tenderness. Gradually, he regained his erectile function and also rediscovered a deeper connection with his partner, stronger than ever. There is also the story of a 52-year-old man whose erections had become sporadic due to intense work stress and an accumulation of physical tension. He was skeptical of psychological techniques, believing that only medicine could help him. But by learning to listen to his body, release mental tension, and practice breathing exercises, he observed a significant change. He began to incorporate simple rituals, such as moments of relaxation after work, meditation, and emotional exchanges with his partner without any expectation of performance. The result? A gradual return of his erections and a renewal in his relationship. If you're watching this video, I invite you to subscribe to the Couple and Desire channel, like and share this video. You'll find other tips, testimonials, and techniques to rediscover desire, intimacy, and complicity in your relationship. It's essential to understand that reactivating erections isn't just a physical matter. Stress, fatigue, unresolved conflicts, and performance anxiety are major obstacles. The mind profoundly influences the body. And your psychological state can determine your ability to respond sexually. Becoming aware of your blockages, identifying fears, and learning to relax your mind are crucial steps. Every experience I've had in my office shows that reactivating erections quickly requires a combination of physical and psychological elements. Simple exercises like deep breathing, gentle massages, positive visualization, and moments of intimacy without pressure create a safe environment conducive to desire. The body gradually regains its natural response when fear and anxiety disappear. Imagine a couple, Mark and Sophie, both in their 40s, who came to see me in my office. For several months, Mark had noticed that his erections were irregular, and despite all his love for Sophie, he felt frustrated and ashamed. Sophie, for her part, felt guilty and sad, thinking she was losing her connection with her husband. We started by talking openly about their relationship, their stress, their fears, and what was happening in their intimate life. The first observation was simple. Mark was putting enormous pressure on himself to perform, and Sophie, out of love and empathy, didn't know how to help him without exacerbating his anxiety. I explained to them that to reactivate erections quickly, they needed to start by reconnecting emotionally above all else. They began with daily moments of tenderness, without sexual pressure, holding hands, kissing, looking into each other's eyes. These simple actions began to release tension and recreate a climate of emotional security. Next, I suggested exercises they could do together. They started with synchronized breathing exercises. Sitting face to face, they would inhale deeply while counting to 4, hold their breath for 2 seconds, then exhale together while counting to 6. Doing this every day, even for just 5 minutes, began to reduce stress and increase their physical connection. We also worked on positive visualization. Mark had to focus on pleasant sensations and moments of shared desire with Sophie without putting pressure on himself to succeed. Sophie supported him by sharing what she felt and what made her feel desired and loved. This practice allowed Mark to separate the fear of failure from genuine pleasure, and his erections gradually returned. Another crucial element was planning low-pressure intimate moments. They scheduled intimate dates where the goal wasn't sexual intercourse, but connection, touch, and shared pleasure. Sometimes they would gently massage each other, sometimes they would simply hold each other, sharing their desires, fears, and fantasies. The performance pressure disappeared, and with it, the erectile dysfunction. We also incorporated simple physical exercises for Mark, stretches and small movements that increase blood circulation in the pelvis and body. Performed daily with Sophie by his side to encourage complicity and mutual support. Little by little, Mark regained stable and quick erections, but more importantly, they learned to maintain this result in the long term. The key wasn't just physical, but emotional and relational, creating an environment of trust, communicating openly, sharing pleasure, and learning to manage stress and fear together. 6 weeks later, Mark and Sophie came to see me for a follow-up. They were beaming. Mark had regained his desire and erections, but above all, their relationship was stronger than ever. They had discovered that intimacy is not solely based on performance, but on emotional connection, trust, and complicity. They now had the tools to resolve any future blockages together and were no longer afraid of losing their intimacy. The essential message is clear. To regain an erection quickly and maintain it long-term, a couple must work together, emotionally and physically. Trust, communication, moments of tenderness, breathing exercises, positive visualization, and reducing pressure are the pillars of success. When desire and emotional security are aligned, blockages disappear almost naturally. It is also important to talk with your partner. Honest and compassionate communication helps reduce pressure and strengthen trust. Sometimes, simply verbalizing your worries and emotions can be enough to overcome a blockage that seemed insurmountable. Couples who successfully overcome these obstacles often report that their relationship becomes more intimate and fulfilling after this process. Quickly reactivating erections therefore means finding balance between body and mind, learning to manage stress and fear, and cultivating self-confidence and trust in one's partner. The stories I have shared demonstrate that this is possible at any age and in any life context. Never forget that your intimacy is a sacred space. It is nurtured by respect, tenderness, and emotional security. Every step you take to understand your blockages and restore your physical and emotional connection is a step towards lasting and fulfilling desire. The rapid reactivation of erections is not an instant miracle. It is a path of relearning, patience, and self-compassion. And every step forward, even a small one, is a victory that strengthens trust and complicity in your relationship. Tell me in the comments, and if you know someone who needs to hear this message, please share it. Sometimes, the right words at the right time can prevent years of suffering. Tell me where you're watching this video from. I'm so happy to see the couple and desire community growing all over the world. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this message. See you soon in the next video, where we'll continue building respectful relationships that allow us to thrive. Sending you hugs from my office.